Hey there, everybody. It's certainly been a busy week in soccer, and that certainly continues today with Between the Posts, where it's Matt and I, and we, of course, talk Premier League. We'll talk all 10 games, break them down, analysis, previews, leans, bets, the whole good gambit. How's it going there, Matt?
It's going well. Yeah, this league is really heating up right now. Obviously, with the Pride at the top, Arsenal have a game in hand, but City look like they're back to being normal City stuff. So it's pretty hard for me to not think that Man City will win another title this season.
It's just crazy. I'm holding on to a future bet of Man City to win the title. And when that gap was, 7, 8 points just a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, man, like Arsenal's actually going to do this. And they've slipped up the last 2 weekends. City, to your point, is looking like, remember it was a couple years ago when they won like 14 of 15 games and they went on just one of those impressive runs. I don't know if they can quite go 14 of 15, kind of again, but I think that win yesterday is certainly going to give that, club all the belief. And they get Forest this weekend, or they'll roll over. We got a title race. I would say we got a full on title race, which is exciting.
Yeah, it is. I hope that Arsenal can just like kind of stay with it. I think that yesterday when you kind of analyze the game, no Thomas Partey in the lineup for Arsenal. He's been arguably the best midfielder in the league, probably him and Casemiro. When you're looking at those stop gaps and stuff like that, and he wasn't available, and I kind of utilized that to say that I think it would be a more open game than normal, and so I had a little over 2.5. I know that you had some City in pocket, and yeah, I mean he's huge. So I'm looking at some quotes right now. Lower back injury, it's part of football. There are no excuses. We'll have to assess Thomas to see how bad it is. It was a very, very late fitness call. So hopefully maybe he takes one more game, two more games, and then he's back to like being 100% because they're going to need him in the run in.
Yeah, definitely gonna need him. Yeah, it was a good day betting for you. We had a good betting on this show last week. In fact, I didn't lose a soccer bet all last week, and that's across all the top leagues in Europe. So I did pretty good. I know you hit that both teams to score in the M23 Derby. I also know you got your Wolves draw no bet. How'd you feel about hitting draw no bet? Down a goal, down a man, and Wolves pull off the shocker, officially condemn Southampton as the worst team in the league and get, what is it, Curtis Jones, I think his name is, out the door.
Yeah, well, yeah, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I
I
was
loved
like,
it.
I was pulling up to the soccer bar that I live kind of close by over here. There's a few different ones, but this one's like over by Butler, and I drove over there at halftime and was like, "Oh shit, this one's a loser!" Like down 1-0. But then they bring on Traore, and Traore's he's got enough pace for two. You know what I mean? So it's
Right,
like
down the
back to
pace for two.
11. He honestly is a good player to have if you do have 10 men because he
Right.
can carry the ball down the pitch, get fouled, get all that stuff. He's great in those situations.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that wasn't fantastic. I wish I would have hit it live though. You know what I mean? It probably would have been like 30-1,
How
probably
do you?
20-31 live.
I bet it was huge. I mean, like I said, down a man, down a goal at halftime. That was absolutely huge. So, all right, well, let's keep firing out some winners. Let's have some more fun on today's show, and let's just jump right on the action here of match week number 24 of the Premier League. We do have that comment section open, so if you guys want to let us know what some of your bets are this weekend as we run through the games, please do so. We'd love to hear from you. Let's go ahead and kick it off here with Aston Villa taking on Arsenal, and this just comes down to me, Matt, of I look at this and I want to take Arsenal all day long. They've obviously been the top road side in the Premier League, only conceded 7 goals on the road. I haven't bet this because it just comes down to how much of a hangover are they going to have after yesterday. For the first time, has it been all season? When they look at the table, they're not at the top. I think it's probably the first time all season. They're now level. They obviously do have the game in hand, but you look at the table with what's been played, City is in first place. If there's any hangover, that gives me a concern. If there's no hangover and Arteta's able to just get the guys to refocus and get back to it here, then I like Arsenal. Of course, been the most away side, been the best side. They're going to create. They've been stingent on defense. I don't know how much yesterday's impact is going to maybe impact this game, so I haven't bet it. What do you think?
I would need Partey. I think that he's like that important to this. Like if Partey were to go, I was also shocked that Ben White didn't get the start. I know that some of the Arsenal fans, because I was asking him yesterday, I was like, why is Ben White not starting? He's been class all year, but I
Mm-hmm.
guess over the last couple matches he's been out of form. They go with Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu has an error that leads to the goal, the first one, and Yeah, I want nothing to do with Arsenal here, really. I mean, they lose to Everton 1-0 on the road. It's just this is the one thing with Arsenal is their 11 is incredible, but we've kind of always thought in the back of our heads like they just aren't deep. They aren't deep enough yet. I mean, still like how like if Man City loses like Rodri or something or like one of those guys, they can replace it. Like
Hmm.
Arsenal can't replace Thomas Partey. They just can't. He's too good. They take a significant step down. They become a top four type of team versus a title challenge team. And you have to think that Arsenal kind of let the title slip a little bit yesterday at home. That was their chance. They're still going to have to go on the road to the Etihad and play Man City once more. So, yeah, I think that Arsenal can bounce back here. I kind of hope they do because I want a title race. I really don't want to see Man City win another one. But I just can't really be anywhere near this one. They have won 3 straight head-to-heads against Villa, and
Yep.
Villa have been conceding. Villa have conceded 7 goals over their last 2 matches. So, but it's Unai Emery against Arsenal out for revenge.
Right, I forgot about that angle. Right, I forgot about that angle. Unai Emery
Just to go,
revenge game.
yeah, some of the
Forgot
trends.
about that.
It's the Emery. It's a good evening angle, but I think this one's going to be played kind of in the afternoon. Um, most recent 6 home matches for Villa, BTTS yes has cashed. I could see both teams to score here coming in. I think that
Hmm.
Arsenal are going to be a little bit leaky without the stop gaps in the middle with Partey. I think that Arsenal definitely find the back of the net here. Um, if you look at the 11 most recent clashes, Villa have managed to score 1 goal or more. So like Villa are probably scoring here. They're feeling pretty good. Ollie Watkins, um,
Hmm.
he's solid. So if I had a bet, I would go with the trends here. I think that the trends are correct. I would say both teams to score yes. In this one, let me look at what do you got on a price here on that.
I just checked.
Um,
DraftKings was 125.
Yeah, I think that that's fair. I
Yeah.
think both teams just go yes, 125 or less. Then I'm fine with not even going the both teams score and over 2.5 route and just leave it at BTTS yes.
I can like that, Matt. My thought was in terms of betting it, maybe to wait 20 minutes and see what kind of Arsenal you get. I've mentioned kind of the hangover, maybe possible thing, and then maybe you could always like live bet an Arsenal money line if you like what you see in the first 20 minutes and it's still 0-0, possibly something along that. But I think both teams to score is probably a nice angle. I like that one. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the next match. We've got Brentford taking on Crystal Palace. Certainly looks like a mismatch here, on paper. Palace have only scored 8 goals in 10 away matches. Brentford, they've scored 23 goals in 11 home matches. I can only get on the side of Brentford on this one. I kind of always like their team total of over 1.5. It's been cashing for me lately here and treating me quite nice. I like them up against this Palace team that just struggles when they're not in Selhurst Park. It's kind of like a different team. They don't put up much of a fight. They're not creating chances. You could probably even see a Brentford clean sheet on this one. That's how poor Palace is outside of Selhurst Park. But I'll definitely be looking to back Brentford in this one, more than likely from a team total perspective.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think you look at the injuries here, and no Zaha is an issue. And I said that last week. I liked both teams to score yes. It did end up coming in,
Mm-hmm.
but still with Zaha, just kind of left it. He started training a couple days ago on the field. He's not going to be there, so that's a fairly strong miss. Brentford in fantastic form. Um, do you want to bet Brentford at minus money here? Really, like I think. Um,
I don't think I'm there on minus money, but their team total is at plus money. I think they're
yeah,
getting one, so then a chance to double my money on a second goal against Palace out for Selhurst Park. That's got me interested.
So this is one of those again. I would actually go money line over the team total. Just I think that the team total, if the team total comes in, they're winning this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see Palace scoring 2 at all. So if they get the team total, then they're definitely winning the match. But I think that they could also keep a clean sheet here. Palace, where's their attacking firepower here, Jason, on the road? These are one of those like instances where like I don't see it. Brentford unbeaten in 12 of 13. unbeaten in 10 straight. So I know that that includes draws as well, but like, I mean, they're just getting the job done. They just are. And, um, they're beating up on some of these squads that are, similar. 2-2 draw with Spurs. They beat Liverpool 3-1 at home. Beating, crushing Southampton. They've kept two clean sheets back to back. I don't think it's a great price. I think it's an inflated price by probably about, I think that they should be plus 110 here, but they're minus 115. And I kind of agree with the market in a sense where, yeah, that's fair to give a little tax on Brentford right now. And I think that they get the job done. They get the 3 points.
Love that right there. I'm looking for a parlay piece. You could probably even maybe play it extra safe if you're looking for a parlay piece. Brentford on the double chance. Some people like draw no bets, but Brentford double chance. That's super juicy. But maybe a little bit later on the show, we can give out another little parlay piece and something to parlay that with. Let's move it over now to Brighton taking on Fulham. Brighton just continue pushing the right buttons and getting it done. Obviously 1-1 draw in the M23 derby at Crystal Palace. They had a goal removed there in the first half. You just want to continue backing Brighton here. It's whether or not you think Fulham can score, and this is not a Fulham team that you're getting at home. They've only scored 14 goals on the road. They've conceded 14 goals on the road. So not as bright away from Craven Cottage, but certainly a good enough team that you think can maybe contribute, to an over. We've talked about Fulham and how they've just been a great over, team early all season. That's kind of slipped. They have not cashed over 2.5 in their last 4 matches. So a team that you could automatically book for an over 2.5 earlier in this season and earlier in these between the post episodes, it's just certainly drawn up. I want to back Brighton in this spot. I trust Brighton. Casayedo's obviously back in the squad. We've seen that now for a couple matches. No concern with the lineup. It's Brentford at the Amex, Brighton at the Amex. I want to continue backing them, Matt.
Yeah, I don't have anything on this game. This is tricky. I can't even really try to dive in and find something because of what Fulham's doing here. I mean, the only thing that I would bet would be just blind over 2.5 here at minus 135, just because Brighton's matches have still been very high scoring, and we know that Fulham can get going and contribute to this total. But like you mentioned, Fulham have just been a lot tighter recently. I mean, like a 0-0 against Chelsea. They had they kept a clean sheet against Forest, which was really impressive last week. I have to say, winning that, getting the job done. They were a minus 110 type of number there against Forest. Get the job done, no problem. They didn't score against Newcastle. It'd be the over 2.5 for me here. That's the only thing that I could look to and hope that Fulham kind of gets back to doing that, because we know that Brighton are going to want to push the tempo here and whatnot. So I would just continue. It's a strong trend right now still towards Brighton overs, and it hasn't come in the last just the last match. Yeah, just the last match really. So, or no, last two with Bournemouth as well. So it hasn't come in the last 2, hasn't been coming in recently with Fulham, but I'm not betting an under here.
Yeah, definitely not betting an under. It's whether or not you're betting the over, and I think maybe the recent cool off of Fulham there of not hitting 4 in a row has maybe put me off of it. Hey, if you need another parlay piece, you like that Brentford double chance, how about Brighton double chance, folks? If you're sitting there and you're building your double chance parlay and you need 2-3 teams, I don't see Brighton losing. Don't see Brighton. The concern is, though, that Matt brings it up, right? Goals are always there in a Fulham game, and then if they get a couple, obviously, could put a double chance a little bit nervous sweat. So I'm going to lay off of that game. Don't like how the recent form is kind of steps on the overall season trend, so I've kind of left that one right there. Let's move over now to Stamford Bridge. Got Chelsea taking on Southampton, a Southampton team that doesn't have a manager. Obviously, Curtis Jones is gone. Can't decide if they want to bring in Jesse Marsh. There's been a little bit of disagreement there on the contract, so we're going to get an interim manager. As opposed to, I thought we were going to get Jesse Marsh here, and then I was going to go, cool. I haven't really been able to bet Southampton that much, but now if we can start taking overs in their game, that'd be kind of nice. But they're not quite there yet, right? They couldn't quite hire Jesse Marsh, so hold off on that angle. And from a Chelsea team, saw it yesterday with Dortmund. Boy, created enough. Felix hit the post, which I was actually holding on to yesterday, Matt. Zhao, anytime goal scoring parlay. Mario at Benfica comes through. Felix, how did he not cash that parlay for me? He hit crossbar, he hit post. Felix looked goddamn good. That's kind of been Chelsea though since they've put this new starting 11 together, right? They can't play Madueke yesterday. He's on the inactive list. So now they're shuffling in more pieces, and they continue just to miss. They're not scoring chances, even though the chances they're creating are in an abundance. They're not finding the back of the net. That's the hold up here. Going up against Southampton, struggling. I still like Chelsea, though. Still like Chelsea to get the job done. Eventually these chances are going to start falling into the back of the net. You create this mount, you will be rewarded at some point. How about bottom feeders of the Premier League at home at Stamford Bridge? That feels like a good spot to start getting rewarded for all the work you've been putting in.
This is a great get right spot for Chelsea. Chelsea are winning this match, and I think that they're still being priced up reasonably fair here. Like I would think that Chelsea would have been minus 300 here. And you can see they're just not getting priced like that right now, which is odd. Here's a couple. I think I found the bet, though, here. I do, okay. Just digging in. Nice. Chelsea have not suffered any defeats at halftime in their 29 most recent home matches in the Premier League. So they're very good at Stamford Bridge. And you need them to get a reaction here. You need a reaction because they were great. Honestly, they were great at Dortmund, I thought. I thought that Chelsea were freaking brilliant. I think that a couple little touches just didn't go their way. I think that Dortmund were relatively solid. I wish that Jesse Marsch was the manager in this one because I'd probably hit Chelsea even harder then. I think that I don't know if he doesn't have a pragmatic approach in his body. He will never tell his guys to sit back and try to soak up a low block, and he just wants to just go, and I respect it. I mean, it's very American of him, but which is what we love. But this is a fixture, though. I mean, you look, Southampton got the better of Chelsea in the last head-to-head, which is unbelievable. But this is the bet here, Jason. You expect a reaction post Dortmund. The only the reverse fixture of Dortmund Chelsea. When is that? I guess just so that I can just check all the boxes.
Remember they play next week will be the teams that didn't play. Then they take a week off, and then so it would be 2 full weeks.
Yeah, so there's no Champions League cause for concern here because that's always been an issue. You get these nice matchups, but then you get, they're still going to be a little bit more tired, obviously, than Southampton.
For sure.
I mean, there's no doubt about that. But they have a couple pieces, like you mentioned, that weren't registered in the Champions League, probably come in here. Still, some of these guys are going to be super fresh. Halftime, full-time, Chelsea, minus 105 on DraftKings. Go shop around. Probably get that at a plus 100 number. If you do some shopping, you might even be able to find a little plus 105. Chelsea, come out here with a reaction at home. Grab an early goal. Have the lead at halftime, and they hold on to it.
Yeah. Whenever I try and decide if I'm going to place a money line bet on a team, and in this case, obviously Chelsea, I try to make the case, obviously, for the other team, and I just can't make a case here for Southampton. I mean, even on the road, they've only scored 8 goals in 11 games, sacked their manager. Hell, they're going to be on their 3rd manager this season, folks. This is not the first time they've pulled out the sack this campaign. This is the 2nd time. Struggling. They know their ass is right down to the championship. I like everything about that. We've kind of talked on this show, parlay pieces. You can do the 2 double chances we've talked about, Brentford and Brighton, Chelsea money line, even money for a little 3-legged parlay. I can't see Brentford or Brighton dropping all the points. And Chelsea, I'm with you, full on, get right, bring in some of those legs that got rested against Dortmund. And your single play of halftime, full-time, basically call it even money. I like it. I like that. Maybe if you don't want to do the parlay piece, just go for that one right there. So,
I think if they get it, I mean, they need a reaction here. They're at home. The only case you can make for Southampton is the rest advantage. The new manager, the new interim manager bounce. Like I don't even want to hear it. I just this team sucks. They made a mistake by firing Hasenhüttl. They just did. That was a misstep by them. A guy that's dug them out results now for the last 2-3 seasons. It's a misstep, and they're going to pay the price. Southampton go down.
I'm wondering who the interim manager is going to be because I saw in the article they were so expecting to hire Jesse Marsh that they fired the first and second guy in charge under Curtis Jones too. So like the interim guys are like the goalkeeper coach. Like I don't even know like who are we even talking about here. It's a mess right there. So go ahead and get on Chelsea, and I think you'll be rewarded with that. All right, let's go ahead and keep it going where we've got Everton taking on Leeds, and this is Matt. I didn't make the mistake. I gave out under 2.5 in your Liverpool-Everton match, which was a bet that you said you liked. And what a great performance by Liverpool, by the way. I'm sure we'll get to them here at some point. But a nice result there by Liverpool. But even a better result by Sean Dyson, that under 2.5. I said it, Matt, last week, though. If you're going to back Everton, you could almost take them on how to score. You know you can take them inside the box, outside the box. I would take them set piece. I'm watching it on TikTok Live, that corner kicked, and I said it before it was kicked. I was like, watch Everton score here. They didn't. They hit post on that header, and then it turns into a quick Liverpool goal. But that's all Everton has is set piece after set piece and try and score on that. Interesting thing there by Jurgen Klopp. He said in his press conference that we knew Everton was really only going to punish us on set pieces, so we just took those away. They only had 3 corner kicks, which is rare for Sean Dyche. They had 7 against Arsenal. They want to draw set pieces so then they can use their tactics to their advantage. I'm wondering if maybe a team like Leeds maybe does something similar, tries to limit the set pieces there by Everton. I'm a little conflicted, though, on an under, right? Look at Leeds' 2 match since the new manager. They've unfortunately both been against the same opponent, which makes it a little bit tough to get a true read. They were kind of gifted goals in that first match against United. The second match, they created. They actually deserved a goal, but they didn't get it and get shut up. But I thought they created enough. I'm a little conflicted on the under 2.5 if I'm going to do it or if I'm going to stay off this game.
I'm going under 2.5 here because Leeds, it's like a fool me once, shame on me, fool me, whatever, shame on whatever. Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on you, fool me 3 times, shame on me. This is like a Leeds team that just, let's face it, I mean, they create chances, but they are not clinical. They don't take them. Like, if you look at this from a head-to-head perspective, like who I think that Leeds can dig out a result here. I would be like siding with Leeds plus a quarter, but it's juiced up minus 145, not as interested. But you're going to get the Dyche effect. You're going to get Leeds with a lot of possession here. Leeds will probably dominate this game from a possession perspective, I think. And I would rather have, my money on Leeds in terms of, because I just think that they'll create more opportunities. They'll have better looks. Like you mentioned, Everton, what's their best chance? Corner, set piece. They just don't have it. But again, Leeds are this team that I think that they are a clear-cut overside in terms of chance creation, but in terms of finishing off chances, they are a stone-cold under team. Thus, when you combine that with Sean Dyche, this is an under 2.5 kind of matchup, and I think it's priced correctly. I think it's juiced, to the under, shaded right. I think the under 2.5 should be the favorite here. So I agree with the market essentially, and I would be only looking under 2.5.
That's why I love it. Sometimes we talk ourselves right through bets through Matt 9. All right, I'm on the Sean Dyche under 2.5 train. This is one of those things where when I look back and it's like, 8 of the 9, 10 have hit. Like, I want to be a part of that 8 out of 9, 10. So, all right, I'm on under 2.5 here at Everton. It's the only way to get there. But what a massive game, right? Leeds in 17th place, Everton in 18th place. Woo! The cards angle is never good in the Premier League, and I wouldn't play it in that relegation scrap. But, man, that one's going to be scrappy. That one is going to be a scrappy game. So, all right, let's go ahead and turn our attention next to Nottingham taking on Man City. And, of course, after Man City goes ahead and gets in first place after knocking on Arsenal, everybody's expecting one-way traffic. This is Forest at home, folks. We've talked about you don't want a piece of them on the road. They go to Craven Cottage last week, lose 2-0. But they've just been stingy, absolutely stingy here at home. Actually, one of the best teams kind of recently, at home. Haven't lost in, I think, like 6 or 7 at home, picking up points. I think a parlay piece, though, is Man City team total over 1.5. Maybe a touch concerned with the midweek game there against Arsenal, but they're going to get 2 goals at Forest, and that's only at like minus 245 for over 1.5. So if you're looking for a little parlay piece, I'm going to be a little nervous. Foden will come in, though. I would actually expect Alvarez probably to come in, so they'll freshen up the squad. But I'm going to go with Man City team total as a parlay piece this week. And maybe not worry about anything
Yeah.
else in that game.
Yeah, not a ton to add here. I mean, I think that Man City are, the rightful favorites. But like you mentioned, I mean, just look at some of these home trends. And Forest are doing exactly what you're supposed to do when um, you're a newbie to the league. Get the job done at home. In all their last 7 at home, there have been no losses, unbeaten at home in 9 of 10, and they've scored 1 goal in each of their last 9 home matches. Thus, I think a cheeky little, if you want to get a bigger price on this one, I would say Man City win this one and both teams to score yes comes in. I think that's a nice possibility. I need to get a price on it. It's going to be like plus 150 somewhere in there because both teams to score yes is the dog at plus 100, and then you just combine it with the money line. It's going to be somewhere in that plus 150 range. I think that's a decent way to get some value. I think that City win this matchup. I think that they do end up getting the job done, probably by a margin. I think that Man City minus 1.5 is fair, but I think that Forest can still maybe find the back of the net in this one. I mean, look at what they do at home. They score.
Yeah.
So I think this is like a 3-1. I think this is a 3-1, 4-1. The City cover the handicap. Forest do find a goal, and Haaland scores.
Okay.
So there you go. There's a nice little combo. City minus 1.5. Both teams to score yes. Haaland scores. Add that up. Maybe you get a little combo.
Haaland was fired up to finally score again yesterday. I mean, his reaction after putting that one past Arsenal, he was fired up. It had been a long time coming for him. So I don't know. I'd be a touch concerned that Alvarez gets to start over him because he had that knock. He was a doubt in that game. He obviously played it all. I'd be a little nervous at placing that bet pre-lineup. So I could be concerned Alvarez could come in for him. So that'd be my only concern there. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and look at here. Wolves taking on Bournemouth. I want to know how you're betting on Wolves because just like I tailed that draw no bet last week that you gave out that hit, I want to tail it. Whatever you've got. Bournemouth. We talk about Southampton being the worst team in the league on the road. Bournemouth is the worst team in the league. Of their 44 goals, they've conceded 32 of those suckers on the road. Wolves at home is always tough at the Molyneux, coming off a great performance. Down a man and still being able to outpossess Southampton 60-40, creating 9 opportunities in that second half, getting 2 goals, getting the 3 points. Love them here at home against Bournemouth. It's how do I bet them? And we go to Matt to try and figure out how we're betting Wolves this week.
Yeah, I want to be back in Wolves. I do. I think that they're, this is where they get the job done too. Bournemouth. I mean, they're going down most likely. I think that the price is fair. You're getting Wolves in one of those scary situations to bet Wolves where they're going to have a lot of the possession. What will they do with it? But like I mentioned, Jason, I just think that this, like some of the transfers that they've made and whatnot, like have been some nice, like shrewd buys that have been, under the radar. I mean, you look, they've scored 5 goals in their last 2 matchups. I mean, that's nice. That's a breath of fresh air and confidence for this side. I mean, they've got what they need here in terms of like to be able to score against Bournemouth. And look at Bournemouth, 7 straight road losses.
Yeah,
7 straight road losses. I think that this is probably a Wolves and under 4.5.
Classic. Do the parlay. Okay, do the classic parlay.
Yeah, to get it down to plus 100. I think that's more than fair. I think that Wolves get this job done. I don't want to go out and lay minus 140, minus 135, minus 150 with Wolves, but they are at home here, and they get the job done here. They win this match. I will be on Wolves in some way, shape, or form.
You can always tack on that under thing in a Wolves match. So I like that angle, right? The money line's kind of close to playing it, but you just tack on the under and you come along for the ride.
Yeah, and Bournemouth struggled to score too. So
yeah, they'll be joining Southampton next season in the championship. That's where they'll be playing football next year. All right, I think we've only got a couple. Looks like we got 3 left here. Let's do Newcastle Liverpool. This should be a nice match after that reverse fixture. I remember watching that one earlier on the season. That was when Liverpool it was so early. Yeah, who knows how their form was, but that was earlier on. Remember, I think Isak scored in that game, if I recall correctly, on his debut. Liverpool gets the win 2-1 or 3-2. Either way, Liverpool, I thought, looked pretty good. Newcastle, though, we've talked about their clean sheets and just how good they've been. Liverpool finally get another good result, up against Everton, by far the better side in that game. I bet this one smells like an under, though. Boy, Newcastle's been tough, 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 tough. We talked about how they lead the top 5 leagues in Europe in clean sheets. I struggle a little bit with this one, though. A Newcastle team that hasn't won in their last 3 games. They've cooled off, quite dramatically. They've gone against Bournemouth, West Ham, and Palace in those 3 games. So 3 games where you look at where it's like, we should be picking up 3 points, and yet they continue to do that. They're not losing. They're picking up a point, but they're not winning games. Their games are still low scoring. They're a nice under team right now. That's kind of where I'm at in this fixture. What about for you?
This is a good one, just because you start to see some cracks a little bit in Newcastle when you look at their most recent form. Only drawing against Bournemouth. Yes, it was on the road. Their last home matchup, I thought that West Ham were pretty good. And they draw that. But, they're not losing. Like you mentioned, I mean, they haven't been beat. They haven't been beat. Oh, my God, Jason. Holy shit. They haven't been beat since Liverpool? Oh, my God.
Yeah, they've been on fire.
They have not been beat since Liverpool, dude. They have an FA Cup loss against Sheffield Wednesday that doesn't count. So that's thrown out the window. They have not lost since Liverpool. I thought they were good at Anfield. I remember watching that match. I remember watching Isak. Wow. But you start to look at some of the injuries, and this is where I always say premierinjuries.com. No Bruno Guimaraes here. He's still suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Callum Wilson, 50% felt some tightness. No Matt Target. Jamal Lascelles is out. Miguel Almiron, Miggy, and Alan St. Maximum, I don't think are too bad. Almiron got stamped on his hand. He'll be okay. St. Maximum will be okay. But then you look down the list a little bit further. Willock, who I think is a key midfield player for them. Joe Willock, he's out. Mm-hmm. So they've got a couple of little cracks here, and then Liverpool are starting to get healthier. I wonder if Virgil will be a go here. It'll be a touch and go on Van Dijk in this one. This one is tough. I would say I would pay the juice probably to back Liverpool plus a quarter, or they're starting to take some money, which is Liverpool are taking money here a little bit, and I don't disagree with it. I think they should be. Liverpool plus a quarter at -150 makes a lot of sense. Liverpool can go here and not get beat. I think this is a tight game decided on, small margins. But another guy too, I think that, is worthy maybe looking at is someone like Salah. I think that goal can help spark him. Man, this is a good one here. Liverpool, you get this. Oh, they step up in this derby at home, and they keep a clean sheet. But what has happened when Liverpool start to then next match they go on the road, they concede. Both teams to score yes here is probably correctly shaded at -160. So yeah, really, all in all, it comes down to this one. It's tight, it's thin margins, and I don't want really anything to do with it.
Okay, yeah, that's why I kind of look for an under. Newcastle kind of struggling a little bit there in front of goal. I don't know if you noticed Flash Score yesterday. They now give you the expected goals stats. That's something to kind of keep an eye on. Their expected goals against Bournemouth was 1.19. Against Bournemouth, only expected goals is 1.19. They gotta do better. They gotta quite frankly do better than that. Matt, how do you feel about this question here on the screen of both teams scoring over 2.5 in United Barcelona? Question here about Brian.
I'm on Barcelona. I got -135. I think it's still probably -135. I saw FanDuel's 145. But I would go looking around for it. I think that Barcelona, just at home here, first leg, I think that United would feel pretty good about getting out of here with just being down 1 goal, take it back to Old Trafford. Barcelona are a good side. I mean, they've got a lot of good midfield pieces. You look at some of the injuries that United have. There's some concerns there. Eriksen being out is an issue. Anthony Martial, Anthony, those guys are probably not going to go. So, there's just, I hope Veghorst is like leading the line in this one. That would be
He is.
awesome.
Lineups are up. He is.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, good. See that's awesome.
Okay. All right. Cool. And I don't need to give my opinion. I gave my opinion on that game earlier.
What just quick, 5 seconds.
I mean, I think the fanboy in me is just too conflicted. I'm going to say
Yeah.
United 2-1, but I really think that's kind of a homer. I think it's a little bit more of a homer pick. I was on Barcelona to win La Liga preseason. They've done nothing but put me off of it. They've been impressive. They've only conceded like 6 goals at Camp Nou like all goddamn season. Like,
Yeah,
so,
they're solid.
Everybody was on
Both
that
lines-
over in PSG Bayern. Everybody was on the over in Dortmund Chelsea. Watch that game go under. It'll be boring. Barcelona win 1-0. Watch
I'll
it.
say that the difference is that Lewandowski's leading the line for one side and Veghorst is leading the line for another.
Classic.
That's what I think. That's what I think. But I do think like United's lineup is pretty strong. Barca's it's going to be a fantastic match, man. I can't wait to freaking watch it.
My bet is, and I IM'd you, you know what it was. Radford, 2 shots on target, plus 310.
Yep.
And then I also bet it, but then give it out. Fred to pick up a card? Are you kidding me? Fred? In European football, he loves him to see some yellow. So I did dabble in Fred to get yellow as well. Had to do that. So, all right, let's get back to these last 2 matches. We've got Sunday's games right now. Now we move on to Sunday. Manchester United take it on Leicester. Obviously, we just got done talking about United. This one just breeds an over. This one absolutely kind of just breeds the over. Look at what Leicester have done. 4-2 against Aston Villa. 4-1 against Tottenham, which we both hit the over in that match. Easy. Hell, that one cashed at halftime. I see nothing but overs in this one. I mean, of course, if I had to pick a winner, sure, right? Give me United. They're on fire. This one will be played at Old Trafford. Even though Leicester does come in having not lost their last 3, I'm still going to take just United and how good they've been, and obviously how good they've been at Old Trafford. But I'm really just interested in goals. Both of these teams got goals in them. So give me an over here, Matt. What about for you?
Yeah, I have some concerns here for United because you've got the Barcelona right now. Then what? Casemiro is suspended for this Leicester match.
Yeah, he'll go
And
right
I've got
back to
some
being
concerns.
suspended.
But that does make me like the over then because I think it'll be open. Both teams to score an over 2.5 here is your, blind squirrel bet of the week type of thing. Like I think it's the best. It's one of the best bets on the board. I'll be on it. I'll be on both teams to score an over 2.5. I also think that when you do think of the, travel to Barcelona, back to Manchester, it's not like hard or anything. It's not a big travel spot, but I think that Leicester are in good form. Ever since Madison came back, like they're going to be competitive here. Like give me Leicester +1 at -125. Like I think that they don't get beat by a margin.
So you like that more than just betting on goals, though? You would rather bet a side,
No,
so to speak?
I think that this is potential double dip.
Oh, double dip. Double dip. Don't do that around your friends, but around family, maybe you double dip. But shit, don't do that when we're hanging out. Don't do that. No, I like it. I'm on the over, but yeah, I like it. United, though, I tell you, there is a concern Leicester will have fresher legs. But boy, Ten Hag is just every game he gets them ready to go, and they bring their game.
It's
and
the
they bring it.
Casemiro thing for me. It's the Casemiro thing for me. That's the only reason, really. It's Leicester scoring goals for fun right now. No Casemiro, their best player, other than him and Rashford, whatever you could say, whoever's more important. But So all in all, I think it's going to be a potential double dip.
Give me a second to look that up because I'm showing on Flash Score Casemiro's not on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. I need to count the number of games he's played manually. So he got the card against Palace. He didn't play against either Leeds. That's a three-match ban, but yet he's not out on Flash Score. He should miss 3 matches.
He'll be out because unless this website's all messed up, which I hope not because I've been following it for a long time. PremierInjuries.com has him return date of the 26th. So that would be the next Saturday's game.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Well, yeah. So that's my concern here. And think about it too. You're getting a team +1 in Leicester who are scoring goals for fun right now. They're probably going to score like that. If they score, then you're feeling really nice with +1 in your pocket.
Plus one in your pocket.
Thank
I
you.
agree with that bet. Like I said, that was one I was on. All right, last game then here. It's White Hart Lane. We've got Tottenham. We've got Tottenham taking on West Ham. West Ham will have the advantage from a energy standpoint. They didn't get involved in European football. Tottenham makes the trip back home from northern Italy. It's been a weird team to figure out. Somebody said on one of these shows I do, they're like, man, Tottenham's bad. And I countered that with Tottenham's inconsistent. That's what Tottenham is. You just kind of never know which Tottenham's going to show up. And because of that, they just make it tricky to bet on, right? You're not even getting the same Tottenham team within the same game. One would lead 2-0 against Man City and then get rolled in the second half. I don't have a problem, maybe giving that game up, but just got rolled in the second half against Man City. Then want to beat them 1-0, but then want to lose 4-1 to Leicester in a game in which Leicester just kind of jumped all over them. Lose the lose the North London Derby 2-0 to Arsenal. Makes me think an over, but then when we think about this West Ham team, who we wanted to talk about more times than not on taking an under, because West Ham games only average 2.1 goals. So probably going to end up being a stay away from me. I can't imagine I end up betting this one, but if I'm picking a side, I'm probably going to go with the arrested West Ham team that has looked better. I think in weeks, hasn't lost in their last 3 now in the Premier League. No European football midweek. I'm kind of leaning West Ham here, but will likely stay off.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some issues right now going on with this Tottenham. I think that Bentancur ACL rupture. I didn't realize it was the full A was gone. He's out for the year. He's been good. He's been good. Like, that is a huge piece for them. And then you look at who would be the backup. The guy they spend a brick ton of money on is Basuma. Yeah, Basuma's undergone surgery, stress fracture. He's out for probably the year. He's out for the year. Then, Lloris in between the sticks. You can say what you want about Lloris. How great is he nowadays? Like, he's fine, but he's still a captain, leader mentality. Now you go down to Fraser Forrester as your guy. I got some serious concerns here. Yeah, give me let's see, go to the handicaps here. I think that if we can get a similar performance from West Ham like we did their last time out on the road, they dug in deep against Newcastle. They had a tough game there on the road. They go down early 1-0, Jason, at St. James Park. A team that we just looked at. Newcastle haven't lost in months. They were able to dig their heels in and snatch a result on the road. They are going to I think that West Ham can win this game. I think that West Ham on the money line is worthy too, because Spurs right now, let's face it, I wish that the Milan game was next week, because I would absolutely hit West Ham on the money line then.
Yeah, right.
But I still think that it's worthy. I think that West Ham double chance plus 100, book it.
West Ham double chance plus 100. All right. I do like West Ham.
It's a tough one though. Yeah, because you see the results of Spurs a couple weeks ago, and they beat the best team in the world at home. But I think that Bentancur was in that one. Like, I don't know. They've got some midfield issues now. They've got some real midfield concerns that, who is their midfield? I mean, holy.
Well, against AC Milan, they had to play Skip and Sarr. But they had Højbjerg. They had Højbjerg. They didn't get run over in the midfield. To be fair, they didn't have Højbjerg because he was out with yellow cards. So Højbjerg comes back. They'll have to play Højbjerg next to either Sarr or Skip, whoever the hell think Conte plays better against Milan. I just got a 3-unit bet on them to advance past Milan, so I watched that entire game. They were good. What tripped them up against Milan is Milan went into that game and said Spurs are going to try and hit us on the counter. They fouled Son and Kane every time they were trying to do the hold up, spin off the defender and dribble, and they brought him down with a tactical foul every time. I was so annoyed. I get what they were doing, but I was so annoyed watching it unfold. Spurs midfield didn't get overran. I'm wondering about West Ham. We talked about how much Spurs conceded first, then they kind of fixed it, and now they've kind of back to conceding first. I said I liked West Ham. I kind of like your West Ham double chance. I wonder what them to score first would be.
Oh
Just
yeah,
out of
going back to
curiosity.
that one. I
Going
like
back to
that
that one.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're gonna be like they'll probably be like plus 150 to score first.
I know.
Something
I'm
like
wondering
that.
if you can go. I'm betting you can take a stab back at that angle again.
Think about
I need to find it.
here's the reasoning too behind all this is you look at this midfield, and then you look at the guy on the opposite side, a guy that is in unbelievable form right now is Declan Rice. You look at Rice, man, will he as one person can control this entire freaking Spurs midfield, I think. I think Declan Rice is a super player. And so like he's like when you're talking about the Casemiros and you're talking about the Partays, you better talk about Declan Rice in there because he might be better than both of them.
He's not better at Casemiro, but I'll give you. He's tops. He's not better at Casemiro.
Yep.
Which, by the way, are you buying Declan Rice or Jude Bellingham? Which one of these bastards are you buying? Who are you
I'd
buying this
love
summer?
both of them.
I love
Both.
both of them. They're both going to cost you 100 million, so you can only pick one because they're both the 100 million guys. You
Well,
want
I've
Jude
heard that we've
Bellingham?
got a 200 million treasure chest, you know.
Oh, okay. Because you haven't done anything in like 3 transfer windows, so you're saving up big for this summer.
Yeah, well, they're trying to sell off portion. Let's not even get into that right now. We gotta. That's the summer transfer show, Jason.
That's okay. That's coming in 3 months. We'll do a summer preview window. All right. That wraps up all 10 games. What bets do you want to give out on today's show, Matt? What did you actually put that hard-earned cash that you earned? What did you put that cash on?
Um, West Ham double chance.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Leicester United, both teams are scoring over 2.5. Strong lean right now. We'll wait for team sheets on Leicester +1. Wolves and under 4.5. Under 2.5 and Everton Leeds. Chelsea halftime full time. And
Matt
that's
usually
gonna
rolls up
probably
in. What's that?
that's gonna be it.
Matt normally rolls up in here, fellas, with a bet or two. He just hits you guys with the gambit. I hope you guys got all that. Those are a lot of winners in there. I'm going to do that both teams to score in over 2.5 in United versus Leicester. I'm coming along on that one. How can you not come along on under 2.5 in a Sean Dice game? Just come on along, boys. Just hop on the under 2.5 train. I'm going to do a Chelsea Man City money line parlay. I hear you on the halftime, full time. I'm going to play it a little safe. Just give me Chelsea City money line parlay. And then I did a double chance parlay. Wolves, Brentford, Brighton. Give me those 3 teams, just to at least win or draw, all 3 of them. Oh, yeah, then let me price shop that West Ham double chance. I'm adding that.
It's going to be anywhere from +105 to -110.
And then for them to score first, by the way, was +160. I don't know if I can quite get that. I gotta keep knocking that around, but I bet that hits.
Yeah. I like West Ham to keep that one close.
Oh, wow, it's at minus money on DraftKings. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and snag that plus money price on Barstools instead.
Yeah.
All right, we've got – what's that?
I think it's a pretty good card, actually.
I know. I'm excited. Whenever you get a lot of vets, that makes me get really excited because I think you do a really good job of keeping the volume down, but then, damn, you hit. You know what I mean? You really fire off on things you're strong about, and I respect that. And you've got a fair number of bets this week, so I'm excited. I'm excited. Yep. All right, Matt, enjoyed sitting in here with you again, breaking down these 10 matchups. We'll, of course, look forward to doing it next week. We got to go ahead and end this show because this starts in about 10 minutes. We got to let the people go. All right, guys, get in those bets. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you back here next week between the posts, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. 4 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Appreciate you, fellas. Have a good one.